Good morning. Grackles, blackbirds if you want to call them that, ravens if you want to call them that, they're smart. The other day I was looking out my back window in the kitchen, and I had thrown out some old bread and little pieces the day before, and I saw this blackbird, raven, grackle, whatever. I saw it come and pick up that bread and put it in my fountain. The bottom part of the fountain is deeper than the top part, and there's a little blurb of water that comes out the top and then flows down to the bottom all around like a dish. And that bird took the bread, and not just once, but several, put it in the shallower part in the top of the fountain to get it softened up. Flew away, got some more. Anyway, to make a long story short, then he pulled the bread out and it was soft, and then he ate it. And I thought, boy, that's really thinking, you know? He's got some smarts going up there. Well, this is about some ravens today. Our last story, or was it the before the last story, was remember this wicked grandma had all her grandkids killed so they wouldn't take over the throne from her, and but she missed one, little Joash. Anyway, I told you that this wicked grandma was the daughter of Ahab and Jezebel, who were two very wicked rulers. Israel had divided at this time because there were 10 kingdoms in the north. Remember the 12 tribes of Israel? 10 of them were in the north, and they wanted to worship idols and go their own way. And 2, Benjamin and Judah in the south, wanted to stay close to the Lord. Well, Ahab and Jezebel were ruling the top 10 kingdoms that worshipped idols. They were evil people, so it's no wonder their daughter was that wicked granddaughter. But where little Joash was in the south. To make a long story short, yeah, right, I'm trying. Up in the north, Ahab and Jezebel were idol worshippers and very cruel people. And God didn't like that at all, so he pronounced judgment on Ahab and Jezebel. They didn't know it, but he told his prophet Elijah what the judgment was going to be. And so one day, King Ahab was looking over the farmlands and the fields and things of the northern kingdom, and he saw this man coming down the road, and he had a staff, and he looked, it says in the scripture, he's dressed in camel hair, and Elijah went out toward the road, and the man kept coming, and it was a man, the prophet from God, named Elijah. And Elijah didn't stop for long. He just said hello to Ahab, and he said, you're not going to have any rain or even any dew fall on any grass or leaves until I say so. And then he went on his way. And Ahab looked, he thought, what a weird guy this is. And he didn't think anything of it. He just thought he was some kind of a nut. Well, the days and weeks and months went on, and no rain, not even any dew in the morning on the grass or the leaves. And Ahab thought, well, you know, it's probably just a bad year. Well, this went on and on and on, and things were starting to die. And he thought, who was that guy that told me these things? So he was getting disturbed. So he told one of his servants, and he was asking around himself, who is this guy? Has anybody seen this guy? He dresses kind of weird with camel hair for a coat, and he's got a stick, and nobody saw him, and so he sent out his servants to scout him down, to look for him. He said, I want to talk to this guy. And his servant finally found him. And you know where Elijah was? The Lord had found him a wonderful place of refuge during this drought. He was, have you ever, I don't know if any of you have had this privilege, I call it a privilege. We went out to Palm Springs, and there are palm canyons out there around Palm Springs that are just beautiful. They're against the rocks, and palm trees and waterfalls, and they're shady, and there's fresh water, little oasis in there, and there's a few of those around, and it's just like 20, 30 degrees cooler in those palm canyons, and then just listening to the water. It's a wonderful experience. Then you got to get out on the freeway and go home again. But this is what Ahab was going through. There was a terrible drought. Well, the servant found Elijah, and he was in, I call it this Palm Canyon, because it says he had plenty of food and water, and it was cool. And the birds, and this is why I mentioned my blackbirds, my ravens in the backyard, my grackles, I don't know what they're called, they're just big blackbirds. The blackbirds, the ravens, had been feeding Elijah. The Lord found Elijah this wonderful spot for refuge. He had water flowing, fresh water, and the birds, it says in the scripture, the birds every morning, noon, and night, the ravens brought him bread and meat to eat. And now I don't know if they stole the bread off of windowsills or where they got the bread from, but there's nothing out there where he was. And the meat, I'm scared to ask what that might have been, but anyway, it was sustenance. And Elijah went to sleep happy every night. But here, in the meantime, old King Ahab is looking for him. Well, when the servant found him out there, he said, King Ahab's been looking for you for a long time. And he said, well, tell King Ahab I'm here. And he said, you better be here when I get back, because if you're not here, or if you don't come with me, I'm going to get killed, because Ahab has been known to kill people that don't obey his wishes, and I'm just downright scared to go back. Elijah said, calm down, don't worry about it. I'll be here if he wants to come and see me. So I'm going to leave off there today. This is a really cool story. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.